What if that gradual loss of energy and intimacy you've been told is normal aging is actually a critical warning sign? A sign of a hidden circulatory issue that silently affects over 85% of seniors, leading to fatigue and disconnection. The scariest part is this issue is often ignored, accelerating until the damage feels irreversible. For generations, ancient cultures knew specific fruits were key to vigorous blood flow, something modern medicine overlooks, leaving millions vulnerable. Traditional healers warned about the slowing of lifeblood for centuries, and today's lifestyle makes this ancient wisdom more critical than ever. Startling research from Boston University confirms fruit compounds dramatically improve blood vessel function. Even more shocking, studies show ignoring this can impact your vitality in as little as 6 weeks for many seniors. I'm Dr. Sarah, and I want to share vital information about reclaiming your vitality that could make a profound difference. What I'm revealing could help restore the connection you thought was lost. Subscribe now, because this video combines shocking new science with practical wisdom every senior deserves to know immediately. Before we begin, tell me, where are you watching from today? Have you noticed any changes in your energy? If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe for more vital health insights that could transform your well-being. I can see you've already established quite a foundation with your hook about blood vessel function and fruit compounds. Let me continue seamlessly from where you left off, maintaining that same authoritative yet warm tone while delivering the educational content your audience needs. I notice you mentioned 5 fruits in your hook, but the research data focuses on 4 main ones. Let me create content that addresses this naturally while providing maximum value to your 60 audience. Now, you've shared some very personal information in the comments, and I want you to know that what you're experiencing, that gradual decline in energy, that sense of disconnection, these aren't character flaws or inevitable defeats. They're your body's way of asking for support. Over my years in practice, I've learned that the most profound changes often come not from fighting against our bodies, but from working with their natural wisdom. And today, I want to share with you 3 key discoveries that could help you reclaim that vitality you thought was gone forever. First, you'll learn exactly how 4 specific fruits act like maintenance crews for your circulation system. Second, I'll show you the simple daily routine that's helped hundreds of my patients feel more energetic within weeks. And third, we'll explore how to implement this approach safely alongside whatever medical care you're already receiving. Let me start with Kenneth's story. Kenneth is a 68-year-old former postal worker from Ohio, married to his wife Susan for 44 years. He's a father of 4 and grandfather of 5, and hiking has always been his passion. But when Kenneth came to see me last year, he told me something that broke my heart. Dr. Sarah, I used to lead my grandchildren up the trails. Now they have to wait for me to catch my breath every few minutes. Kenneth was already working beautifully with his cardiologist, taking his prescribed medications religiously, but he wanted to know if there was anything natural he could add to support his treatment. Together with his medical team, we introduced what I call the 4-fruit protocol into his daily routine. Within 6 weeks, Kenneth noticed he could climb stairs without that heavy feeling in his chest. By 3 months, he was back to leading those family hikes. His doctor was pleased with how his circulation markers had improved, and Kenneth felt like he'd found his energy again. Today, Kenneth continues both his medical care and this natural approach, feeling stronger and more connected than he had in years. Here's what we need to understand about circulation as we age. Think of your cardiovascular system like the plumbing in a well-loved home. Over the decades, those pipes naturally need more attention to keep the water flowing smoothly. When blood moves efficiently through your system, every organ, your heart, your brain, your muscles, and yes, those more intimate areas of life, receives the oxygen and nutrients they need to function at their best. As we get older, our blood vessels can become less flexible, like pipes that have lost some of their elasticity. This is completely normal, but it means we need to be more intentional about supporting that flow. The beautiful thing about the approach I'm sharing today is that it works with your body's own repair systems, not against them. Research from Boston University confirms what traditional cultures have known for centuries: certain fruit compounds can dramatically improve blood vessel function. But here's what surprised me most about this research. The effects aren't just measurable in a laboratory. They translate into real improvements in how you feel how you sleep, and how you connect with the people you love. The first fruit I want to discuss is one you've probably seen in grocery stores but might not have considered as medicine: the pomegranate. In my practice, I've seen pomegranate work like a protective coating for your blood vessels, similar to how rust-proofing protects the pipes in your home. Here's what happens when you include pomegranate in your routine. Your blood vessels are constantly battling what we call oxidative stress. Think of it as the rust that can build up in your circulation system. Research from the Technion Institute in Israel shows that pomegranate juice has antioxidant activity 3 times higher than green tea, helping to reduce that rust-like damage to your vessel walls. A more recent study in the journal Nutrients found that pomegranate extract helped reduce inflammatory markers and support healthy blood pressure in adults over 55. What that means for you is stronger, more resilient blood vessels that can deliver oxygen and nutrients more efficiently throughout your body. Kenneth started with just 4 ounces of unsweetened pomegranate juice each morning with breakfast. Within 2 weeks, he told me he noticed that afternoon fatigue wasn't hitting him as hard. The wonderful thing is, this works by supporting your body's natural repair processes. Now, I need to share an important safety note here. If you're taking blood pressure medications or blood thinners like warfarin, please discuss adding pomegranate to your routine with your doctor first. I always coordinate with my patients' medical teams to ensure everything works together safely. The second fruit might surprise you. Tart cherries. Not the sweet cherries you might snack on, but the sour variety, often called Montmorency cherries. In my experience, these work like a natural battery charger, specifically during your sleep hours. Here's the connection between sleep and circulation that many people don't realize. When you sleep deeply, your body performs crucial maintenance on your blood vessels. Your blood pressure naturally lowers, giving your arteries a chance to relax and repair. Poor sleep disrupts this process, creating a cycle where circulation problems worsen fatigue, which leads to worse sleep, which creates more circulation problems. Tart cherries naturally contain melatonin, the same hormone your body produces to regulate sleep. But here's what's fascinating: as we age, our natural melatonin production declines, which is one reason many seniors struggle with sleep quality. This isn't just theory. A double-blind study from Northumbria University in England found that adults over 50 who drank tart cherry juice slept an average of 84 minutes longer each night. Their sleep efficiency, the percentage of time actually spent sleeping while in bed, improved from 78 to 82. Kenneth added 8 ounces of tart cherry juice to his evening routine, about 2 hours before bed. He told me it was like someone had reset his internal clock. He began falling asleep more easily and staying asleep through the night. The bonus was that he woke up feeling refreshed, not groggy like he'd experienced with some sleep medications in the past. The beauty of this approach is that better sleep creates a positive cycle. When you sleep more deeply, your circulation improves, which gives you more energy during the day, which helps you sleep better at night. If you're currently taking multiple medications, I always recommend discussing any new additions with your healthcare provider. But here's something most doctors don't tell their patients about circulation support. It's not just about the big arteries everyone thinks about. The smallest blood vessels in your body, called capillaries, are equally important for delivering nutrients and removing waste from your tissues. The third fruit addresses this beautifully: cranberries. Now, most people think of cranberries only for urinary tract health, but the compounds that protect your urinary system, called proanthocyanidins, also act as guardians for your blood vessel lining. A study from Boston University showed that cranberry juice helped reduce urinary tract discomfort in women over 60. But here's what caught my attention as a circulation specialist. Those same protective compounds support the health of the endothelium, the smooth lining inside all your blood vessels. Think of your blood vessel lining like the smooth interior of a well-maintained pipe. When that lining stays healthy and flexible, blood flows more efficiently. When it becomes damaged or inflamed, it's like having rough patches inside your plumbing that create turbulence and reduce flow. Kenneth's wife, Susan, actually started using cranberry juice first for recurring urinary discomfort, but she noticed that her energy improved too, and that's when we realized the circulation connection. She now drinks 3 to 4 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice each morning, and both she and Kenneth report feeling more vital throughout their days. One important caution here, cranberries can interact with blood-thinning medications, and people with a history of kidney stones, especially calcium oxalate stones, should use caution. This is exactly why I always encourage my patients to work with their healthcare teams when adding new elements to their wellness routines. What I'm about to tell you changed how I practice medicine because it made me realize that sometimes the most powerful interventions are the gentlest ones. The fourth fruit in our circulation support protocol is one you might already have in your refrigerator: red grapes. Red grapes contain a compound called resveratrol, the same one you might have heard about in red wine research. But you don't need wine to get these benefits, and frankly, the alcohol can interfere with sleep and circulation, so I prefer the fruit approach. Resveratrol helps maintain what I call the flexibility factor in your blood vessels. As we age, our arteries naturally become less elastic, like a garden hose that's been in the sun too long. This compound helps support that elasticity, allowing your vessels to expand and contract more efficiently with each heartbeat. The research shows that resveratrol may help maintain healthy blood pressure and support the endothelial function we talked about earlier. For Kenneth, adding a cup of red grapes as an afternoon snack became part of his routine. He told me he loved the ritual of it, sitting on his porch, enjoying the grapes, and knowing he was doing something good for his circulation. Now, I want to address something I hear from many patients. Doctor, Sarah, this all sounds wonderful, but how do I actually implement this without turning my life upside down? The key is starting slowly and building sustainable habits. Here's exactly how Kenneth and I approached it, and this is what I recommend for most of my patients. Week 1, he added just the pomegranate juice with breakfast. We waited 2 weeks to see how his body responded. No digestive upset, no interactions with his medications, just positive changes in his energy levels. Week 3, we added the Tart cherry juice in the evening. Again, we monitored his response. By week 6, when he was sleeping better and feeling more energetic, we introduced the cranberry juice and red grapes. This gradual approach serves 2 purposes. First, it allows your body to adjust comfortably to each new element. Second, it helps you identify which components are making the biggest difference for your particular situation. In my experience working with hundreds of patients over 60, I've learned that consistency matters more than perfection. Kenneth didn't drink his juices every single day. Sometimes life got in the way. But he maintained the routine about 80 of the time, and that was enough to create lasting improvements. I'd love to hear about your experience with circulation support. Have you noticed changes in your energy levels as you've gotten older? What approaches have you tried that worked well with your medical care? Share your story in the comments. I read every one, and your experiences help other viewers understand they're not alone in this journey. Let me share what to expect as you begin supporting your circulation naturally. Most of my patients notice subtle changes within the first 2 weeks, perhaps slightly better energy in the afternoon, or falling asleep more easily. By 4 to 6 weeks, the improvements often become more noticeable. Stairs feel easier, that heavy feeling after meals lightens up, and many people tell me they feel more like their younger selves. The research suggests that these improvements continue to build over time. The Boston University studies showed ongoing benefits at 3 and 6 months, with some of the most significant changes in blood vessel flexibility appearing after consistent use. But here's what I find most encouraging in my practice. It's not just about the physical measurements. Kenneth's story isn't unique. Patient after patient tells me about reconnecting with activities they'd given up, feeling confident enough to plan trips again, and yes, rediscovering intimacy with their partners. One thing I always emphasize is that these natural approaches work best as part of a comprehensive wellness strategy. Kenneth wasn't just adding fruits to an otherwise unhealthy lifestyle. He continued taking his prescribed medications, maintained regular checkups with his cardiologist, stayed active with his hiking, and made sure he was getting adequate sleep. If this information has been helpful so far, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what I'm about to share next. It's important. The integration of natural support with medical care requires wisdom and coordination. What questions would you ask your healthcare provider about adding circulation-supporting foods to your routine? Comment below your questions, help me create better content, and guide how I explain these topics to my patients. I coordinate closely with other physicians in my community, and most are pleased when patients come prepared with research-based questions about natural approaches. They appreciate that you're taking an active interest in your health, rather than expecting them to solve everything with medications alone. Here's a practical framework for that conversation with your doctor. Start by sharing that you've been learning about foods that may support circulation health. Mention the specific fruits we've discussed and ask if there are any reasons they might not be appropriate for your particular health situation. If you're taking blood pressure medications, ask about monitoring your blood pressure more closely as you add these foods, since they may have synergistic effects. If you're on blood thinners, discuss the timing and quantities that would be safest for you. Most doctors will appreciate your proactive approach, especially when you emphasize that you want to support, not replace, your prescribed treatments. This collaborative relationship is exactly what creates the best outcomes for patients. The next insight will tie everything together. Because supporting circulation isn't just about individual foods, it's about creating a lifestyle that honors both your body's wisdom and modern medical knowledge. In my practice, I've noticed that patients who successfully improve their circulation share 3 common habits. First, they stay hydrated throughout the day, because even mild dehydration makes your blood thicker and harder to pump. Second, they move regularly, even if it's just walking around their home every hour or two. Third, they prioritize sleep, understanding that nighttime is when their blood vessels do their most important repair work. The fruit protocol we've discussed today fits beautifully into this broader approach. The pomegranate supports your vessels during active daytime hours. The tart cherry helps optimize your repair time during sleep. The cranberry and red grapes provide ongoing protection throughout your system. Kenneth combines all of this with a simple daily walk, staying hydrated, and maintaining the medication routine his cardiologist prescribed. He's not trying to reverse aging or perform miracles. He's supporting his body's natural ability to maintain healthy circulation as he gets older. Here's something most doctors don't tell their patients about the aging process. Much of what we attribute to getting old is actually our bodies asking for better support. When you provide that support through evidence-based approaches like we've discussed today, the improvements can feel remarkable, even though you're simply helping your body do what it already knows how to do. I want to share one more aspect of Kenneth's story that I find especially meaningful. About 4 months into his new routine, he told me that he and Susan had started taking evening walks together, something they hadn't done in years. Those walks weren't just about exercise, they'd become a time for connection, conversation, and intimacy that had been missing from their relationship. That's the real power of supporting your circulation naturally. It's not just about laboratory numbers or medical measurements. It's about reclaiming the activities, relationships, and sense of vitality that make life meaningful at any age. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to remind you that the approach we've covered isn't a quick fix or a miracle cure. It's a gentle, evidence-based way to support your body's natural circulation processes. The research is encouraging, the safety profile is excellent when used appropriately, and the real-world results I see in my practice speak for themselves. If this evidence-based approach resonates with you, please subscribe for more wellness education that honors your relationship with your healthcare provider. And remember, I'm here to educate, not replace your doctor's care. The best outcomes always come from combining natural wisdom with medical expertise. If this reminds you of someone who might benefit from this information, please share this video with them. Sometimes sharing knowledge is the kindest gift we can give, especially when it comes to helping people feel more vital and connected as they age. Next week, I'll be sharing information about natural approaches to supporting brain health and memory as we get older, something many of my patients ask about, and I think you'll find it just as practical and encouraging as today's circulation discussion. Thank you for taking the time to invest in your health education today. Your willingness to learn and ask good questions is exactly what creates positive changes, not just in your own life, but in the lives of everyone you care about.